And through the smoke we go again. Welcome to the Planet FPL Gameweek 18 Deadline stream, part 2. This will be the last time today I do this, but it might not be the last time this week. As we stand just over 25 minutes to the new 3 p.m, 4 p.m. even, Gameweek 18 UK time deadline. As we stand, Leeds and Arsenal is still going ahead, but fingers very much close to what's going on news-wise. I have Twitter DMs open on my screen this time. Thank you everybody who messaged me earlier. It was about 40 people who tried to DM me on Twitter while I was doing the stream earlier. I've sent a heart like back to all of you. Thank you so much for everyone who tried to get in touch. Right, so new plan for myself. I'll be very honest. I'm going to go Kieran Tierney to... Who am I buying him in for? Livramento. And I'm going to go Ollie Watkins to Alexander Lacazette. I'm going to make those transfers for a -4 in around about 20 minutes at 5-2. I have the official FPL website open on a tab on my phone. I recommend that everybody does the same and has the tab open, because everybody is going to be trying to do this at the last minute. I wouldn't leave it till 1 minute 2. I would leave it till 5 minutes 2 and make the transfers then. So you can see the updated graphic of my team on stream as it stands, with Villa obviously now blanking, except my man FPL Captain hasn't updated it because I didn't send him a new one. Sorry, Cap, that's not your fault. Can we have a round of applause for FPL Captain, by the way, on the graphics? What a fucking hero. That's my fault for not sending him a new one. Rafinha now makes it onto the top captaincy 10 picks for the week. And I have updated all of the benching dilemmas as well. There are no more Villa players on there. Recommendation by Arsenal players or no to everything else. Okay, end stream. Let's do this. Let's try and power this for 20 minutes. Hola Stamos, hello again. New plan. Watkins to Lacazette and Brownhill to Foden for -4. Gamble with Foden and City game, but long term I want him. Fine. Do it, mate. Andrew Grondin, hi James. Since the week is no longer about points, I thought I'd arrange my blanks in the most aesthetically pleasing way. So start which 0, Watkins, Dennis or King in a 5-4-1. Dennis, mate, because he's got the little star next to him, hasn't he? Pushkar says, hey there again. I'm really looking forward to hear what Suj is going to do. You did promise to give him a call. Did I? Okay, I'll call him again. Villa 30, currently have 10 players. Is it worth getting Lacazette in or rolling the transfer? Excuse me. You're going to be well ahead of everybody this week. Honestly, I'd buy him. If it's for free, yeah, I'd buy him. Sam Holden, do you think the clubs and Premier League have to be at least a little more transparent? We have 4 first-team players tested positive, quote, rather than the COVID situation at the club. No, not necessarily, because I think if you take the case of Burnley, obviously this afternoon, I don't believe Sean Dyche was... Sean, if you're DMing me from the chat, I'm not going to answer that, mate. The DM is open, so I can keep abreast of what's happening with potential news of Leeds and Arsenal, and that's it. So, good luck, and God bless. He says, James, I have 2 free transfer to bring in 2 forwards. Lacazette and who? Thinking him as just do Lacazette and disappear, mate. God's sakes. In the case of Burnley, they had 1 positive case yesterday. That's known. And that was from earlier in the week. So they've all tested positive today. I don't know what you're meant to do in that situation, to be very honest. Is what it is. Atul Balaji, the question everyone will ask, should I get Lacazette for Watkins for a hit? Have a great game week, James. Yes. Yeah, do it. Lacazette, hopefully, he's got Norwich next week, and Watkins has got Chelsea next week, which I guess is already in doubt. Tom Bolton said, would you -4 to go Brownhill to Foden, less than 11 players, but block off Ronaldo next week? Yes, next week's miles away. Newcastle haven't had any COVID issues yet. Pushkar says, you think De Gea to Ramsdale for -4 worth it? I really want to hold De Gea, man. Hold De Gea, man. Simple as that. Chris Woods, best to roll now? To be honest, it's a fair option, Chris. Is to do nothing. If you're using a free transfer, buy an Arsenal player, and that's it. Alden says, afternoon James, Gator, Livramento and Antonio for Loris, Tierney and Jimenez, or Wilson for a -8. Forget that. Free transfer. Buying Kieran Tierney for Livramento if it's affordable. That's it. Forget the rest, mate. Go and look. Everybody should go and have a look at the tweet by Spine Cop, which says that Liverpool potentially have up to 6 positive COVID cases now. And if that's the case, Liverpool's going to be off tomorrow. So make sure your vice captaincy's on an Arsenal player. Honestly, if you've got no Arsenal players, buy an Arsenal player. Put the vice captaincy on an Arsenal player. Alex Mann says Bowen to Rafinha or Gallagher to Saka. Free transfer will give me 9 players not taking hits this week. Bowen to Rafinha, Gallagher to Saka, I think, mate. unless you really want Rafinha longer term and you want to go that way now, which is okay. Perlo's Pen, hello James, got 10 men, no striker considering Gallagher to Bilva or just save FT. I'd save it with the 10, I think, mate. 10, you're going to be ahead of the majority of people. I'm taking a -4 to get me to 8, I think. And the chances are I'm going to lose players tomorrow as well. P. Cat said, love 2 deadline shows in one day. Hope her indoors is okay. Keep up the fab work. Thumbs up to my missus, right? Little superstar, bless her. Jock says, hi James, already took a -4 for Watkins and Foden. Should I go -8 for another Arsenal asset? And should it be defender or Lacazette? Go Lacazette, mate. Lacazette and vice captain. That's where my advice would be. Prisixer 25 says low again, just enough in the bank for Vardy and Ramsey out to Lacazette and Rafinha in 2 FTs, but he's 3 times Arsenal risky as their Norwich game may still be a doubt. Well, hopefully the Norwich situation will be cleared by then, but then Arsenal haven't had problems yet as far as we're aware. So on the 2 FTs though, yeah, I'd go for it. Perlo's Pen, Bilva move would still mean only 10, that's fine. Chanel torn between Martinelli for Gilmore or Tommy, what's his name? Tommy something. Tierney for Liver. I already have White thoughts. Tierney in would be the way I'd go. Hector Palmer, hi mate, thinking of Bowen, who I want back in game week 20 to Saka or roll in the free transfer this week. Part of me just wants Saka to have something to look forward to this evening. Who knows what's to come? Then if that's the case, probably don't do anything. But if you've got no players this evening, I would buy Bukayo Saka and I would make him your vice captain. Jonathan Albert says, was heading up to Molineux tomorrow. I don't even know what to do anymore. Surely it doesn't go ahead after those 2 more cases about half an hour ago. Yes, there are potentially increased cases at Chelsea as well. Dragon Josiewski, Davis to Gelhardt worth a -4. I think he gets to play beyond this game. Nah, that's not worth it, mate. Pushcar says, just realised I could do Liver to Tomiyasu instead of selling De Gea. You think this one sounds better? Yes. Steve J 10, hi James, great content. I summer still every 11 including Callum Wilson, 1 free transfer. Would you do Antonio to Lacazette, bench Wilson to Lacazette or roll? I'd get Lacazette. West Ham A, what do you think of -4 to do Gallagher and Bowen to Saka and Smith Rowe so I can field 9 players? We can't even be certain that Smith Rowe will start, so I think just get Saka, leave it at 8. Prixer says, P.S. everyone leave a like. Massive kudos keeping up in a week like this. No probs. Pleasure, mate. Do you know what? I don't mind the carnage. It just makes it interesting. I've had just had a DM come to me from a very reliable source that tells me that Reece James does not have COVID. Doesn't mean that he's 100% going to play tomorrow, but there are rumours circulating on Twitter at the moment that Reece James has COVID. Those rumours as of now are incorrect. John Lawless says 2 Chelsea players tested positive this morning. Yep, one of them, neither of them is Reece James as it stands. And TJ says, hi James, which Arsenal midfielder to get for $5.7 million? That information on Reece James, I've just had a message, another added onto that. That's correct as of 12:30 p.m. earlier today. Have they done tests from 12:30 till 4:30? Probably unlikely, I would say. Which Arsenal midfield to go for, Martinelli or Odegaard? I'd go Odegaard personally at the moment. Martinelli, Smith Rowe, I don't think are great buys right now. I don't know which one's going to play. They could both play and Odegaard gets left out, but I think Odegaard will play. Pushkar says the scenes tonight when all the Twitter's gone full on Arsenal when it's Rafinha with a winner and a 1-0 win for Leeds. Mate, I would be very happy if that's the scenario. Not just because I'll be captain Rafinha in Sky Fantasy Football, but, you know, just because I know where my loyalties are. Sheila says, is Steer to Ramsdale worth a hit? Gator will be my second goalkeeper then. Why not just go Gator to Ramsdale? I know you probably think, oh, I need 2 goalkeepers going forward. Okay, in that case, fine. Is it worth a hit? Arguably not, mate. Arguably not. Andres says, hi, James, is the Arsenal-Norwich game, but you're going to need to buy a goalkeeper next week. So if that's the case, then maybe just do it. Andres says, hi, James, is the Arsenal-Norwich game next week safe enough to go to Lacazette? At what percentage would you put it to go ahead right now? The whole fixture calendar could be off next week. Who knows? Who knows? Nobody knows. Right now, I'd look at it as go, Norwich will be over their situation. They've got time to manage it. They should be in a position to play the game. But Arsenal have had no issues yet. Maybe they'll get the issues. Thank you, Rasmus Anderson. That's the right thing to do if you're responding to someone at the person that you're responding to. Kieran O.S., are you going to the game tomorrow? Yes, I am. but it's looking more and more likely that it might get postponed. Neil Kager says, hi again from Ottawa, Canada, watching Davey live at the moment. Apparently Chelsea Reece James COVID rumours from an iffy Twitter source, but we'll see, I guess. I've had it confirmed, it's fake. Elliot Simmons says, heard Reece James and Saka both got COVID. I've heard no information on Bukayo Saka, so I'd ignore that at the moment. Because let's be honest, the information on Reece James is incorrect. It's Benji95 says, best Arsenal midfielder, Saka. Matt Morrison says, hey James, thanks for doing this. Laka and Foden or Laka and Jota with my 2 FTs. Already have Bilva. Lacazette and rolled transfer, mate. It's probably got to be Foden at this stage. The Liverpool game, I'd say right now, is more in doubt than the Manchester City game. One in, one go. Can't wait for part 3. Well, we're going to find the answer out in about 15 minutes. George says, James, when are you eating the camembert? Christmas? Maybe at 4 o'clock, mate. Dan L says, hello, James. Still in the doghouse with Planet FPL. Wifey question. Hope you're well. We're all good, mate. JP's Harry done one dirty. Yeah. JP says, the only thing better than the part 1 is part 2. Hope you're doing well, James. All good. John Lawler. No, it came from Absolute Chelsea. 238,000 followers. I see some shit accounts around this world. Downstairs, maybe they picked it up off the belief that it was true from the fake account. I don't know. Downstairs says, what are you going to do with it anyway? No one's looking to buy Reece James. So if he's got it, he's got it. If he hasn't, he hasn't. What are you going to do with it? If you're on free hit, maybe go somewhere else. Go Thiago Silva, Rudiger, Alonso, whatever you want instead. Otherwise, what fuck's it matter? He's there or he's not there. Downstairs says, afternoon legend, what a day we're having and not even a game yet. Already took -4 to get Watkins this week. Worth another hit to get Laka instead, especially considering game week 19 fixtures. Yes. Pushkar says, a word on the Premier League handling of this situation. Someone who understands the fixture congestion would like to hear your take on this mess. I will. It's probably better I do that at this stage at 4 o'clock. I'm happy to cover in a bit more detail. Static says, you bringing in Ronaldo next week or is it better to spread the funds because of the postponements? Fuck knows next week, mate. As it stands, it's probably quite comfortable for me to get Ronaldo for a -4 next week if I'm moving Watkins to Lacazette now. Adam English is thumbs up, mate, in the same moves. Mohammed Cameras-man, what a week. Good luck. And to you, sir. Sandnik says, are you sure that this is going to be the last deadline stream this week? No, not really. Gopesh says, Ramsdale from Sanchez or Foster. If it's for free, yeah, and at this stage I would sell Foster. Adam says, worth a -4 from Sanchez to Ramsdale. No, I'm not having it. Good fixture for Brighton next week. FPL Penguin, bring on game week 18 plus, game week 19 plus. Those were the days. It's like March 2020 all over again. Addy Tor's given the clap, I think, for FPL captain. Thank you. Will Atkinson, Sufal to Tomiyasu, or Gallagher to Saka. It's Sufal to Tomiyasu for the -4. Thanks, love the content. You're welcome, Will. Elliot Simmons, should I be worrying about how to get Ronaldo back in a few weeks? No, you shouldn't. Joe Finney-Badder, Lacquer in for Watkins or Armstrong? Armstrong. Chris Woods, which one of Antonio, Watkins or King to Lacquer? To be honest with you, the sensible play... it's a tough one, that. Not Antonio. Probably Watkins. David Hannigan, Tierney, Tomiyasu or Laku, thinking Tomiyasu is the safer option, can hold him longer than Laka. You've answered your question then, David. Sartak says, Region will play, question. We covered this. He's training today. No one's going to get the information. It's 50-50. FPL Invincible. Hi, James. Another -4 to sell Watkins to Lacazette. Yep. Nick Giordano. I used my free transfer to bring in Watkins. Shall now take a -8 to bring in Laka and Emil Smith-Rowe for Watkins and Callum Hudson-Odoi. Nah. You want to take another -4, but not -8's going to be a definite. Anyone else in -8 is going to get a no. Rishi says, hi James, Lacka or Ramsdale for vice captain. FYI, Salah has COVID at Spine Cop replied to a comment on Twitter. If he's got it, he's got it. One Rovers Vlog says, afternoon, but I'd Lacka over Ramsdale for me. If you're that worried about it, you got any doubt that Lacazette plays, go with Ramsdale fairly obviously. One Rovers Vlogs, afternoon James, I'm not even making any transfers, just sticking with my 10 players, just going to roll. I don't mind that, mate. Chris Jargo, FPL system crash 5 minutes for deadline question. I feel sorry for all those normal people who cannot hang around all day for deadlines. Not fair in my opinion. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. It's the way it goes. We know not everybody can obviously wait to the last minute, so look, it is what it is. I'm just going to have a spy on some news. So Spy and Cock says, Don't think the rumour is true, mate. In replying to someone. So if you're panicking about Salah, my strong advice is leave the captaincy on Mo Salah, honestly. So yeah, Spine Cop, 3:30 p.m. responded to someone. Don't think the rumour is true, mate. That's in response to a question about Mohamed Salah. So Chelsea, no updates on them. Tim Spires, who's in connection with Wolves, says, told there are no current doubts over tomorrow's game against Chelsea going ahead. Obviously a changeable and potentially fast moving situation, but all okay at this moment. Right, let's keep abreast of this. Right, I've got nothing more to add on that at the moment from reliable sources. To my patrons in the chat, you know where the DMs are at, but make it concrete. If you're not something you've heard as a rumour, make it concrete. Tom Burke, I'm not going to go through your whole team, mate, because it's boring to death. You look like you're in a better position than most. I wish you luck. Azuri says, hi James, Watkins to Laka or Liver to Tierney worth a -4. Back to Lacazette for me, yes. Michaelis says, hi James, players out are Livramento, Bowen, Tony, Antonio, King. Should I get Saka, Martinelli and Laka for Antonio for -4? This way is over 11 players. Don't stress about getting 11. Just take 3 transfers, mate. Sartak, mate, if I see your name again with that same question. Lucas SZ says, hi James, Laka and Foden in or Laka and Tierney? You're safe for going Laka and Tierney at this moment, mate. Dushyant says, Foden and Lacazette for Gallagher and Ings -4. Have been taking hits for the last 3 game weeks. This is crazy. Arguably just Ings to Lacazette. Have you got Danny Ings? Shahid says, bring in Tierney or Emil Smith-Rowe to go with Lacazette, please. Tierney. Matthew Collop, do I get Laka or Tomiyasu in? Lacazette is going to be the preference for me for nearly everybody, guys. Elliot Simmons, you putting the vice captain on Laka? Yes, I will be. Josh, Gallagher to Saka or Watkins to Laka? I feel like I've done this. Laka is the priority. Man, John, would you go to Laporte from Lamptey so I can start with 11? It would be for -4. No, don't bother, mate. Might not play, even if the game goes ahead. Ryan, do I free hit? I only have 7 playing players. Ryan, you're in a better position than a lot of people, including me, mate. No. KFC, Chicken Army. Hi, James, mate. Should I free hit after -4? Can I just say, anybody activating their free hit at this moment, it's insanity. It's insanity. I would be surprised if all 3 of them games go ahead tomorrow. KFC Chicken Army, hi James, mate. Should I free hit after -4 and now 7 players? No. Suck it up. Crack on. Good luck. Gorka says, why is nobody talking about Martinelli? Prefer him above Emil Smith-Rowe and Saka. There you go. You've just done it. Peter Gray says, James, all the love for the content and putting your all into these crazy streams. No question. Lol. Good luck, Peter. Stuart Bell, best thing to do was just leave everything and laugh at people like me who took -8 and still only have 8 players. Stuart makes a very reasonable point. Good luck, Stuart. Anchor says, Gallagher to Mount, is it worth -4? No. Meninda says, Antonio or King out for Laka. Not Antonio was the one I said earlier. Ben Willie Goose says, -4 Sanchez out for Ederson or Ramsdale. I mean, if you must, Ramsdale. JBM, think Laka starts after 88 minutes midweek. Yes. ABJ by Gelhert for -4. No. Sack Batuza, vice captain Lacazette or Cancelo, the player that's playing today. Soft Corsair, God bless Mrs. James. Isn't she a star? Paul Lewis, 2 from Tierney, Emil Smith-Rowe, Lacazette. The defender and the forward. Noam Jacoby, Livramento to White, worth a -4 considering Arsenal might blank next week. What's the upside of White? 6 points? Nah. Dan Bean, Ronaldo and Gallagher to Lacazette and Foden for a -4. That sounds like you might need to move Ronaldo to Lacazette to afford the other one, but honestly, I'm not big on taking a hit for anyone unless it's an Arsenal player right now. Man, John Legend, would you go to Laporte to Lamptey? I've just done that. Garlic 25, still stick with the same transfers in my message earlier. Watkins to Laka. Tierney, I can't remember it, Jack, but probably stick to your original thinking, mate. Ooh, he's jumped the chat. Teco says, and Mbumo and Antonio to Laka and Tyler Roberts for... You ain't buying Tyler Roberts, mate. Michaelis says, hi, James, play. I've done that one, I'm fairly sure. Josh McCrea, who has benching dilemmas? Yeah, I know, but it just would have been too much hassle to remove it. Michael Gilbert, hey James, would you take a hit to get a playing goalkeeper? I'm not doing so. Lee Ben, thank you for doing this unexpected deadline stream, mate. Most other FPL content creators haven't done it. Nice one, James. Wow, I'm lucky and I got an understanding wife. Most of these guys haven't got wives. Woo! Man John says, would you go to Laporte to Lamptey? No, mate, but what is this? Good dough, is it worth free hit? No. Connor Purcell, FPL Prince here, mate. Hello, Connor. Thinking Vardy to Lacazette, Douglas Luiz to Foden -4. What do you think, mate? I'll just go Lacazette for free, mate. Josh McCrea, Saka, vice captain, or Cancelo, the player playing today. Harvey Roch, thoughts on Rafinha, amazing player. If you want him long term, I don't mind if you want to buy him, if it's a free transfer. Alvin says, will Salah play? I don't know, I don't pick the team. Michael Richardson, would you rather transfer an Arsenal defender or Saka, a defender? Keith Rowley, captain Lacazette, if Arsenal game more likely to be played, just stick the vice on him, that'll do, mate. Go Naldo, go to the FPL duo. Wicked, mate. Fantastic. Give yourself a pat on the back. Oscar Vanede, should I do Bernardo to Foden? No. Go Naldo, the FPL duo. Wicked. Mate, you just get out of my stream, mate. Get out. Keith Rowley, captain Lacazette. That's what we've done. The advice is no. Oh no, what's going on here? Right, lost our place now. Here we go. Dud Camberbert for Christmas. Did all that shit, didn't I? Where's the guy I just muted? Shit. Lost my thread. Sorry, guys. It's 5 minutes to deadline now, so while I'm losing my thread, which I've now found, it's time to make some transfers. As far as I'm concerned, no news. I've had another update saying as of 10 past 1 p.m. this afternoon, Mo Salah was negative for COVID. Look, there's been 2.5 hours since then. What's the chances that's changed? It doesn't mean he can't get it, but I'm absolutely certain. I trust his source. I'm absolutely certain that that information is correct as of now. Sorry, guys. I'm going to make my transfers. And I recommend everybody else does the same at this point. 4 minutes to deadline. Tino Livramento. It's been emotional. Off you pop. Ollie Watkins. Thanks for my 12-pointer in midweek, mate. You're off. You're out. In comes Alexander Lacazette. In comes Kieran Tierney from -4. I'm Livramento to Tierney and Watkins to Lacazette is what I'm doing. Making transfers. Livramento to Tierney, Watkins to Lacazette, confirmed transfers -4. We are done. Vice captaincy on Lacazette. I'm going to swap Dallo out to Josh King. Just makes my team look a bit better. He says, let's do that. Let's fuck about with it. I have OCD when it comes to team lineups, in case anyone didn't know. Alright, Lacazette, vice captain, save your team. Here she is. Not that I think anyone doubts me or disbelieves me, but yeah, there we go. Okay. Oscar says that's what we did Bernardo to Foden. Ray Karashi, what a man. James Watkins to Lacazette for me. Good luck, you handsome fella. Get some fucking glasses. KP 338 worth taking -4. Livramento to Tierney, just done it. Aussie Watkins to Lacazette had Watkins. Yes. Paul Mansell, has anyone heard anything further on Pep since yesterday? Yes, he's available. He said everyone in his squad last night was fit except for Ferran Torres. C says Diaz or James. Diaz. Manjon, would you go to no, you can get out as well, mate. I can't be dealing with these repeat questioners just denying people. Gerjo Gaspar, what team do you support? Super Tottenham, mate. Tom Burke, should I take... Not so super, I know. Should I take Bowen out? Yeah, great. Yeah, take him out. By fucking Tyler Roberts. Please don't do that. Eleanor Haaland, Antonio and Saka, or Bowen and Laka? Antonio and Saka or Bowen and Laka. So you're saying, like, which one do you want to keep? Probably Antonio, mate, because forward options ain't so good. Although there's better midfield options. Alistair Hargreaves, Lacazette in for Watkins, Smith Rowe out for Brian Boomo -4. I'm sorry. Piss off, Alistair. Love you, mate. Nanjay, is there -8 worth it? No. Diviant, should I Cal Foden? No, I presume you mean Cap, and the answer's no. Larim Tosca, second best Leeds attack option. Fuck me. Kelhar. Cal says, remove my question as you just answered the same one for someone else. Hope you're well, my friend. And to you, Cal, thank you. HK, I used my wildcard to get all 11 players playing this week, seeing as it will expire anyway on the 28th. Yeah, I still would have held it. Amin says, God, yeah, people still with wildcards left. Fucking hell. I would have held it for the 28th. Amin says, thanks for everything, mate. You're welcome. John Kedwood, cheers, James. Would they extend the season into June? It's probably up to UEFA and FIFA, but if it has to happen, it has to happen. Nishal says, Antonio to Lacazette for a -4. It's a yes from me. Ishmael, bring in Saka or Laka. Divianch, best choice for cap this week. It's on the screen, mate. Number 1 under top captaincy picks. Big clue, princess. McCallis says, is Jesus a good choice? No. OJA, do you think this is good for FPL? No, of course it's not. Gavin Doyle, is it worth -4 for Saka? Rising in price. Fuck price rises. Sod it. No, I don't particularly. Ashwin says, took a -12. Oh, God. You want to down take a -16? No, mate. You might take a hit worth more than what the players you get on the pitch are. I'll make it deadline, guys. Sorry, I tried to rattle through as many of them as I could in a half hour, but I think it was fairly clear that there was a lot of repeat questions. Generally, it was, if you're going to take a -4 for an Arsenal player, yeah, do it, fine. Anything else, generally, no. -8's a complete no. And I can tell you that the FPL deadline is gone, which also means if Leeds and Arsenal does get postponed, that's it. So there's no deadline stream tomorrow. As Brad Parker, our Wolves correspondent, just put on our Slack channel, that's it now. Let's all get royally shat on. Is what it is, isn't it? Right, I'm going to jump the questions. Has anybody got a non-FPL? I think our brains are all done over, basically. Feel free to pop them in the chat, and I'm happy to cover. On the question I had earlier, I think it was from Pushkar, on can the Premier League do more? Personally, my opinion is that all of the games this weekend should have been postponed because it was clear that at least half of them were going to go anyway. And I think it would have made more sense just to move all of them into, say, the FA Cup third round replay week, get hold of the FA and say, look, this is ridiculous, scrap FA Cup replays this season. That would make sense to me. Now we're in a position where we've got a maximum of 4 games, and I doubt that we're going to get 4 games this game week, to be very honest with you. So, at this moment, I'm not expecting to go to Tottenham tomorrow, as it stands, in all honesty. Let me send... I was going to say I'll send a screenshot of my team to Cap. I'll do that anyway. In the cases like with Burnley today, I don't actually know what anyone can do to change the problem. So Burnley legitimately only had 1 COVID case yesterday. And they've obviously been tested prior to the game today, done their PCR tests or whatever you call them, and it's returned a load of positives, or all the goalkeepers have got COVID, something that's put the integrity of the game into question, and therefore they couldn't play the game. And from that perspective, the Premier League can only make the call to call the game off. There's nothing they can do. Where does it leave us for like game week 19? Oh, I forgot to call Serge, didn't I? I'll call him in a sec. In terms of where does it put us for game week 19? Well, it's 8 days away. So, who knows? Who knows? I think the Premier League needs to be quicker with their decision making, but I think like in the case of Villa Burnley today, I'm not totally sure that there's anything particularly different that they can do. And from the fantasy perspective, it's all just really unfortunate. What's happening, but the majority of us are in the same boat together, right? So what's the point stressing about it? I mean, how bad can the game week be? Let's say Liverpool gets postponed, right? I'm down to what, 4 players? 5 players. I'll be down to Reece James, who the Twitter community thinks got COVID at the moment. Cancelo, Bernardo Silva. I mean, they're rotation doubts anyway. Cancelo, I'm sure, does play. And then I've got Tierney and Lacazette, and it'd be Lacazette captain. And do you know what? If they all play, I'll still outscore a few teams this week. So, because the others will go like the dumb things like Salah captain and Trent Vice and stuff like that. So we're all in a shitter. I'm expecting to end up with 4 or 5 players this week. Excuse me. Is what it is. Is what it is, unfortunately. Let's phone Suj. Let's phone Suj.
Anyway.
Yo, did you remember the deadline?
Yeah, but I'm not doing nothing.
Did you literally roll a transfer?
Yeah.
How many players you got?
8.
You still got 8?
Yeah.
Fucking wanker.
No, I think I'm sure. 8. 2 Chelsea, 2 City, 3 Liverpool, and Newcastle. Yeah, 8.
How many? You know Tottenham Liverpool's off, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, I'm only joking, but it will be.
At the end of the day, what's it? Well, it's just not worth it now. Trying to get involved in something that's going to end up, what I'm going to do, buy more Arsenal players. Yeah, great.
I tell you what, the power of you having an extra free transfer next week. I mean, with 8, yeah, I'd have been very tempted with that number just to do exactly the same, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not stream all done now.
No, it's still ongoing. You're live on the stream, mate.
Oh, I'm live, right?
Yeah.
Nice. This must be the longest deadline stream.
You see, Flapjack tweeted earlier. He said if Leeds Arsenal gets postponed, we might break the 24-hour stream from last year, mate.
Wicked.
Brother, I'll let you go. Enjoy the weekend with the fam, yeah?
Yeah, just not getting involved, mate. I have a few WhatsApp groups, and everybody's bought Watkins and bought this, bought that. Forget about it, mate.
All right, cool.
Not getting involved. Rafinha in Sky. And
yeah, same.
Let's enjoy.
All right. Have a good one, mate. Speak soon.
Nice one.
Ciao, laters.
Bye.
Wanker. Right. Deadline passed. Let's see if we got any non-FPL stuff. As you can imagine, at this stage now, I really can't bother to deal with FPL anymore. Cole JB says Arsenal rep 12 incoming. That's for the benefit of the Champman FPL players. By the way, Season 3 of Champman FPL is coming up. Give it Fantasy Champman a follow on Twitter. And I recommend everyone gets involved. Great game, great community, bit of nostalgia. These deadline streams probably wouldn't happen now if it wasn't for my involvement in that game in the first instance. So get involved, support the guys doing it. I believe FPL captain may have. Here it comes. He is an absolute superstar, isn't he? You might have seen my team just has been updated on the screen from FPL captain. What a man. And I mean, yeah, him as well. FPL captain with a K. Name's on the screen there. Give him a follow on Twitter. He's like a pimp, mate. He does everybody's graphics in the YouTube community. Tom Burke says, cheers for your stream, James, and help. You're very welcome. I can only call it as I see it. Cheats Prosper says, who's your captain in Sky SSF, James? I presume you mean Sky Fantasy Football. I'm on Rafinha this evening. I've got Gabriel as well, so I've actually got 2 players in that game. David Bell says, Home Alone 1 or 2? Oh, definitely 1, mate. Gotta be the original. Although, as a sequel, it was alright. Yeah, it was alright, Home Alone 2. Arendra says, James, please tell me your vice captain wasn't Watkins. Nope, it's on the screen now, mate. Don't worry. I hadn't sent the updated team to FPL captain. Didn't think it was, well, I did mean to, but didn't think there was much point till I got it locked in. So you can see my team on screen now. As it stands, I've got 8. I think that will become 5 or less, personally. Elliot Francis, what's your favourite way to eat an egg? With a knife and fork, mate. JBM says, thanks for doing this, James. What are we drinking? Water, currently, mate. Stuart Bell, do you think Wilder can get Borough up this season? Great performance from the boys today. I didn't see the game, but I know they obviously beat Bournemouth 1-0. It's a very good result. Fair credit to the Bournemouth fans travelling up there for a 12:30 kickoff as well. Yeah, why not? To be honest, I don't know how far away they are off the playoffs and stuff. I imagine Fulham and probably still Bournemouth will probably be the top 2. But yeah, I mean, those in the playoff positions, I don't think there's anything amazing there. It'll come down to a run and consistency, won't it, to give yourself a chance. Garlic25 says, went with the original plan in the end. Tierney and Foden can't take this shit. Stay safe and have a good weekend, James. And to you, Jack. Atul Balaji, what do you think of AFTV for Arsenal? Do you think they have brought up some toxicity? Toxicity? Is that the correct pronunciation? Surrounding the club? Yeah. I mean, I know that like Robbie at AFTV is very well intentioned, but a lot of the other clowns involved I don't think necessarily are. And they do it for the fame. And the fame is more important to them than their football club. And I can't be having that personally. So yeah, clearly, I mean, when they get beat, you think, oh, what's everyone going to watch tonight? Ain't going to watch Match of the Day, are you? If there's only one game to watch, we'll watch a bit of AFTV if they get beat by Leeds reserve team. Dylan Ferner Rose, rate our government since 2010 out of 10. 1 for occasionally turning up. D Muss says, any chance Scarlett gets minutes tomorrow? Absolutely none, mate. S1, did Suj miss the deadline? No, he rolled a transfer. Eliezer says, I've lost a question. Is there a chance the Premier League will have a break? Yes, of course there is a chance. I said on the podcast yesterday, my theory is that the Premier League's going to carry on at the moment and play the games that can be played. I mean, next week, the other thing we have to consider next week is that there's teams that are probably going to be, there's probably games that's going to be postponed on Boxing Day, and then there's more fixtures on the 28th of December, so they're possibly going to lose 2 games, but there's definitely going to be scenarios where someone's going to play 26th and 28th and the other team's going to have had a 10-day break. That doesn't feel fair either. So, yeah. I think what they're going to do is, I think the government are allowing everyone to have Christmas and New Year's together, and I think they're going to shut down the country in January, and I think that will lead to behind closed doors football in January. That's what I think that's going to happen. Now, I'd rather they shut it down for 2 weeks now, because I don't want Tottenham and Arsenal to be behind closed doors. But it is what it is. So obviously whatever they do, don't they? But I think they're going to try and play the football, mate. Dan Johnson, guessing you don't support a lower league club. FA Cup replays earn lots of money for clubs. Of course they do, Dan. And listen, I've covered this a number of times. I know this. Nobody cares more. That's incorrect. To say nobody cares more. But I care a lot about the football pyramid. We've done lots of podcasts on the football pyramid and the importance of saving our football clubs at lower league levels. The thing that no one can ever answer me is, what happens if lower league club who draws with Leeds, okay, bad example, Morecambe draw with Tottenham in the FA Cup at Tottenham, right? FA Cup third round. So we'll never get a replay back at Morecambe. Guaranteed TV money, full house at their stadium, although it will be behind closed doors probably anyway, unfortunately. But what about if they win the game on penalties and then win the prize money and then get another draw in the 4th round and end up on the TV? What about that? No one can ever answer me that. Whatever happened about, and I realise the protection of our clubs, but don't the lower league clubs also want the glory day? Because the chances are when you play a team like Tottenham, if you get a draw once, you're probably not going to get it twice. What about the glory of actually saying, oh my God, do you remember when we won at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on penalties? Fucking hell. That's what they'd call it. I'd call it White Hart Lane. So I get it about protecting the clubs and the importance of the replay, etc. and all that. But what about actually going through in the competition? Nobody can seem to say to me that that's a bad idea, that it gives them a chance of more glory and prize money, etc. for going through and then another game. Manan Shah says, where do you think would be best case scenario for Spurs under Conte in the coming 2.5 seasons? Champions. That's the best case scenario. Now, I realise that in my pipe there's some lethal juice in there, which means my brain goes a bit funny sometimes. That's the best case scenario, isn't it? Is to be champions, for him to form a team where the shift of patterns in play in the game changes and it becomes suddenly quite about defensive football and 3-5-2s, for example, and Conte being the master of it and Tottenham being consistent and the big three having a dip like the year that Leicester won the league, that everybody just collapsed around them as well. So that's the best case scenario. Do I think that's realistic? No, but that's the best case scenario. Tam Good, why Premier League is not taking any action? Covered. Sam Holden, thoughts on South American teams joining Nations League? I think it's, so if you haven't seen this, not the next coming Nations League, but the one after in 2024, I believe. The South American Confederation teams are going to join the European nations for the Nations League, and all the games will be played in Europe. What do I think of it? I think it's UEFA and CONMEBOL, the South American Federation, sticking their middle fingers up to FIFA and the other confederations who want a World Cup every 2 years and saying, no, we don't need that. Listen, a World Cup every 2 years without European South American nations it doesn't exist. Let's be honest about it. It doesn't exist. You might as well have a cross-confederation Asia, North American, Africa tournament with Australia and New Zealand. I mean, what's that? So, I think that's the play they've made. Do I agree with it? No, it's more football. But it is better than friendlies. I mean, I'd have to agree with that. Elron Cupboard, what's your favourite playmaker number 10 from the 90s? Can I say Teddy? As in Sheringham, being a Tottenham fan that's biased. Best one? Crap, man. Bergkamp, Zola. Cantona, you can't underrate because of what he achieved. I mean, picking between Bergkamp and Zola is fucking... Who wants to do that? I think Bergkamp gets the edge on, obviously, being part of 2 title-winning teams at Arsenal would give him the edge, I think. But Zola was a genius of a footballer. Most Chelsea fans, I realise, would disagree with that, and most Arsenal fans would probably agree. It's almost impossible to make that call, in fairness. Alex Mann, Leighton Orient fan, got any good youngsters to loan at League 2 level? Fond memories of Kane, Carroll, Townsend, Charlie Daniels on loan, yeah. Charlie Daniels. Any good youngsters to loan? What you would League 2 or League 1 now? I hate that I'm so out of the loop of that. Must be still League 2, surely. Any good youngster for that level? We've had a few go to League 1 and stuff. I guess you'd really be looking at kind of the under 18 crop and stuff. I wonder if the young keeper Oluwayemi might get a move somewhere, possibly at some point soon. I'd like Paskotski, who actually played against Orient in a friendly in the summer, right back. I'd like him to go somewhere on loan because he's not going to get a look in with the first team. Yet he's part of the full Estonia national team. So, I mean, him I would hope would go out on loan to someone soon. Whether Tottenham want to drop down to League 2, I'm not sure, in all honesty. S1 says Premier League will be called FF after this weekend, surely. I don't know what an FF is, but it's probably postponed. I wouldn't guarantee it, honestly, as covered. Alistair Hargroves, good luck, James. Good luck, everyone. Stay safe. Thank you, mate. Lee Ben, nice one, James. Big out, great content. Thank you. Atul Balaji. If you're interested in rounding the lazy buggers up, who is the laziest footballer for each Premier League team? Oh, wow. All right, let me get a list of 20 teams in front of me and we'll do this for a bit of crack. All right, apologies if anyone gets offended. Aubameyang. Villa. Emi Buendia. Brentford's a tough call. And Bumo, because he's always leaning on the post. Brighton. Morpay, the fucker. Burnley. Oh God, they work hard, don't they? Nick Pope. Chelsea. Havertz looks lazy, but I don't actually think he is. Actually, I think would be so harsh to say Havertz. Marcus Alonso, Palace, Zaha. I did some clips of United Palace the other night, and he's so fucking lazy tracking back and stuff. And I know part of that is stay up, but he always wants to blame someone. He always wants to blame someone else when it's his fault. Everton. Look at Dean. Look at Dean because he's not showing up, although he might not be allowed to. Leeds. Another one where they all work really hard, in fairness. Daniel James. Leicester. Tough. Gosh. This is really hard, actually. I thought I'd quick fire this. Leicester, I'm going to say Maddison. Liverpool, that's another tough one. Salah. God. Man City, Kyle Walker, because he uses his recovery pace to get out of trouble. Manchester United, Ronaldo. Newcastle, Ryan Fraser for the way he treated Bournemouth. Norwich, can't call Tim Krul. The way Tim Krul has to look behind him all the time, pick the ball up. Can't be Tim Krul. I'm gonna say Todd Cantwell. I feel that feels really harsh because I know he's had some issues, but that feels the right call on what I watched against Aston Villa the other night. Southampton, another team that worked really hard. I'm going to say Bednarek. Tottenham, it's probably got to be Ndombele, isn't it? Yeah, he probably has got to be Ndombele. Watford, truce to Kong for the amount of errors that he makes. West Ham, Masuaku. Wolves, Adama Traore, because it doesn't move off the fucking ball. God, that was tough. Jonathan Murray, I have only 5 players playing. Is it worth playing? My free hit deadline's gone, mate. John Lawler, apparently it's snowing quite heavily at Ellen Road now. What? It can't be. It can't be. I'm not having that at all. It's not been cold here. It's a bit colder today, actually. But it's been a really mild week, ironically. No, I'm not, none of that fucking Leeds snow bollocks. Let me message FPL captain and call him a hero. I think he deserves it. Lewis Coles, what do we do in Sky? Just make sure we have a captain. Not sure any other moves are worth it. Yeah, I'd buy a player. Mate. And Rafinha's the obvious one if you don't have, mate. It's the obvious one, and that would be the advice for Sky Fantasy. If Leeds have a good day, he'll have a good day. Mark Charles, thanks James, great effort today, you're very welcome. Jamie Chim, cheers James, have a good one. Alistair Hargreaves got 9 players playing. Willie A, phone a friend, 32,000 question. Cheats Prosper, the friend is clueless. Once was enough, my friend. And he's not my friend, mate. Joe Siffer, he's more important than that. Joe Siffer sent it last minute, got in Lacazette and Smith Rowe. Twix is responding, thank you. Cole Patrick Vineyard. No, it won't. Spurs Liverpool won't be off. All right, Cole, thanks, mate. Cheers for that. You didn't need to go for capital letters. Marcus P, at least use the 1 free transfer. I mean, I'm in agreement. I would have made the free transfer. I'm in agreement, but listen, this is a guy who bought Edward Mendy last week, so I had to fuck it. Thank you, Pirlo's pen. Robin Richmond, gutted Suja spent more on keepers this week. Yeah, Marcus F, just letting you know, I think your analysis of football match is really brilliant. The chemistry between you and Suj, that's the friend, is great. Fabulous content providers of both of you, much appreciated. Jason Dick, morning from a snowy Toronto. James, in the unlikely event that Canada managed to keep up current stand and qualify for the World Cup, can we be the second team you cheer for, second behind England? Yeah, why not? I'm alright with that. And by the way, I wouldn't call it unlikely. I think you're in a very strong position to qualify, actually. And I think you will. I think you will qualify. It's probably going to be Panama, Costa Rica is probably back for kind of full 5th. I think you'll finish in the top 3, mate. I think you'll be fine. I think you'll get there. Siam Kelly Thompson, the Premier League is currently taking a case-by-case approach. That means it's possible for a minimum of 1 fixture to be played every game, provided it's safe to do so. It is what it is. Exactly that. Alistair Hargreaves doing anything for Christmas. ABJ Love Chapman. Bally says I've gone Lacazette. Christian James Milner, I've got the standard team for this week pretty much. Jim, alright James, what's your favourite film? Mine is Mulholland Drive. You can tell from the way I pronounce that I have no clue what you're talking about, but respect. Oh fuck, Usual Suspects. Alistair Hargreaves, best Christmas film, Home Alone 1. Joseph says, I put Lacazette vice captain, Jesus captain. Nice one, Joe. Milan the Villain. Which one should I watch today? Die Hard 1, 2, or 3? Do you know what? Die Hard with a Vengeance was fantastic. Was that 3 or 4? I feel like that was 3. With Samuel Jackson. Brilliant film. S1, how long are you going to stream? I'm going to end this in about 7 minutes. Alistair Hargreaves, have you seen Spider-Man? The ones with Tobey Maguire? Yeah, really good. Chris Velvet, no, I haven't. I don't get out much. Chris Velvet Torpedo says, I ain't got fucking time either. If players have to quarantine for 10 days, you've got to think Game Week 19 is postponed. Sorry, is every player quarantining, are they? I don't think that's quite the case, is it? John Lauder says, what's for dinner tonight? I don't know. Meninda says, Sky, best Arsenal player to bring in to cap today. The correct answer is Rafinha. Gabriel and the Light are not going to pick up Pass and Tears today. Lacazette, I don't think is a long-term Sky fantasy option. The answer would be Rafinha. I would honestly, in Sky, I would still bring in Rafinha. It's a completely different game format. I would bring in Rafinha. Alistair Hargreaves, 4 points off. I think Elliot Simmons, Bauer 2 points off. Oh, this is off the playoff. I'm in a strong position then. Ray Cressy, hey James. When each Premier League player is at their peak, I feel KDB is the best player. Who's your pick? KDB. I'm in full agreement with you. Full agreement. And I think we haven't seen it for the last year or so for various reasons. But yeah, I'm in full agreement with you, Ray. I've said that numerous times in the past. Cheats prosper. Ramsdale captain Sky today over Rafinha. That's fair enough. I mean, to be honest, the previous question, you're desperate to buy an Arsenal play. Yeah, buy Ramsdale. Stephen Hamilton, do you think there's any possibility FPL shows some heart and give us some sort of COVID-free transfers? Nope. Sorry. The game's still going as according to their rules. So, you know, you could say, okay, give everyone free transfers, but then is that necessarily fair on people that might take -12s or something this week? I don't know. Milan the Villain, given that this mayhem will cause a lot of FPL managers to quit playing, what do you think are the chances of FPL allowing free wildcard for in Jan like 2020? None, unless the season gets sorted and they can't stop the game like before. That's the only way, in my opinion. Martin Ellicott, Exeter fan here. I want the replay. I want to see the Giants on my home ground. Get that, but then you might win on penalties and you might get one and the Giants at home in the next round. That's all I'm saying. Oliver Jacobs, bottom 3. Norwich, Watford, Newcastle. Dan L. BBC is saying the Premier League clubs will meet on Monday to discuss the escalating crisis around the coronavirus pandemic. That is correct, but that meeting is to give clarity about what the kind of regulations are in terms of when you can ask for a postponement, when you can't. They want to kind of get something a little bit more defined, I think, in place as per UEFA's you have to have 13 players kind of rule. Because at the moment, the leniency in it is allowing teams, and I'm not saying that anyone has kind of played the system, but the leniency in it at the moment means there's no kind of set amount, and it feels like a one rule for one and one rule for others, and it's caused a bit of confusion and anger and stuff. So that's what they want to try and get right on Monday. I don't think that's in relation to, I mean, that's I don't think is going to have any bearing on football continuing. Personally, I think it's more about that. Mystic Matt, do you think England should adopt the winter holidays like other leagues in Europe? Yes, but I think the break should be in January. My proposal would be that, and we have to forget this season as a kind of what's happening with COVID as hopefully irregular. But my idea would be that we'd play the FA Cup third round first week of January. We'd take a 2-week break, and then we'd return with the fourth round of the FA Cup, or we leave one weekend out, no midweek fixtures under any circumstance in between. So we go third round, this is under no replays, sorry, third round, 2-week break, fourth round. And so then if the Premier League clubs want to give their biggest stars 3 weeks to 4 weeks off because they don't want them to be involved in those games, then that's each club's individual choice to do so. And then it becomes a proper break. That would be my proposal in terms of how to do it. In terms of not having Christmas fixtures, I do not agree with clubs playing on the 26th and 28th. I don't think it should happen. So I would prefer, honestly, that the 28th fixtures weren't happening, or they were a set of midweek fixtures and all happened on Wednesday and Thursday, for example. That's what I'd prefer. But in terms of the actual keeping in our calendar of the Boxing Day fixtures and the New Year's Day fixtures, yes, we really want to keep them. It's really important, I think, for the culture of people in this country who regularly go to football. I don't love Christmas anyway. I fucking love it less if there's no football the next day. Cheats Prosper, I think there'll be no football on Boxing Day. That is a possibility, unfortunately. Dan L, send the youngsters to Bristol Rovers and the Orient, please, James. I'd be sniffing around a few other clubs rather than Tottenham, in fairness. GDP, thanks, James. Love your brutal honesty. Big shout to FPL captain. You have the best graphics in the community. Is he not doing good graphics for everyone else? I hope all of Andy's watchers that were on appreciate you as well. Much love, best of luck. Well, if Andy give us a plug, it's much appreciated, and welcome to Andy's viewers if you're in the stream today. I'm a bit more no nonsense, but Andy, as far as I'm concerned, he's the goat of the YouTube streams. Love the man. Absolute pleasure to get to have a beer with him a few weeks back. Badman says Lukaku is lazy. Alistair says Jorginho. Dan L says I knew you'd go with Morpay. FPL Big Say James, who would you say is the shittest player you've ever owned in FPL? Oh my god. I want to say Wilfried Zaha because she trolled me too many times. My God, Palace got 7-8 great fixtures, and there, sure enough, he sits there for those weeks and gets like 16 points across the 7-8 weeks. But he's a great player, Zaha. Shittest player. I'm gonna say one spring to mind is I was gonna say Isaac Success, and someone else just come into my mind. Colin Quainer of Huddersfield. Fucking terrible. Colin Quainer was sitting on everyone's bench. Fuck me. He couldn't even kick the football properly, mate. Elliot Simmons, Robert Lazy at Leeds. I disagree with that. Really disagree with that. Again, I did some analysis on Leeds' game against Palace, and he's the only one making forward runs off behind. Maybe lazy defensively, but actually Leeds are really missing, without Dallas playing higher this year, really missing forward movement that goes beyond people. And actually in that game, Roberts was the only one doing it, so I slightly disagree with that. Alistair saying Madders. Mystic Mac Madison is super lazy. John Lauder saying Madison. This is in reference to the lazy players. Music Pogo says picking between Ronaldo and Greenwood for tracking back is hard. Elliot Simmons, KDB, Rashford or Ronaldo. Alistair Hargreaves says Campbell, yeah. S1 saying Martial's a great shout, in fairness. Dylan Ferner Rose, Pogba surely for United. Yes, fair shout as well. Willie A. Click or Roberts for Leeds. Alistair Hargreaves on Dombele. Yeah. Daniel Pogba or Martial. Adsel Blasi. Oops, sorry for the hard question, James. 10 out of 10 for effort. It's a good question. I like it. Alistair Hargreaves saying Traore. Rhea says, I accidentally captained Sterling. This could go horribly wrong. Good luck. Birth Media. Luca Dean to Chelsea if Chilwell doesn't recover. Thoughts? Possibility. I've heard it rumoured. I've seen Newcastle going for players like Luca Dean or Aubameyang potentially in January. Vasilic, one word to describe this game week. Different. David Hannigan says Leeds team news. Meslier, Ayling, Forshaw, Koch, Rafinha, Roberts, Dallas, Harrison, Gelhart, Drama, Click. It's not that bad if that's what it is. Relic returns. I've punted on Firmino. Excellent record against Spurs. I am mad. He does have an outstanding goal scoring record against Tottenham. But I wouldn't think he'd start, in all honesty. He's not going to start based on his previous goal scoring record. I think Firmino will start against Leicester in midweek if that game goes ahead to give him minutes in his legs. I see no reason why it wouldn't just be Jota, Salah and Mane again, personally. It's not to say that he definitely can't play, but I wouldn't have never considered him for a minute. I mean, I couldn't have anyway with 3 Liverpool already, but nah. I'm not even convinced that he's going to reclaim as obvious first choice, to be honest. David Hannigan saying Arsenal one change, no Emil Smith Rowe. Oh, it's that time, so I can confirm those teams, although I'm pretty sure that David's just confirmed them there for everybody. Let's have a quick look. Might as well cover it. Don't normally get to this stage on the streams where I'm covering the team news, but might as well do it. There's only one bloody game. But it seems a good sign that the games will be on. So, yeah, for Leeds, Koch back in is a bonus. Drama will play right back. He played at Arsenal in the Carabao Cup and wasn't good, in all honesty. But, yeah, the team's not that bad. I mean, bench is completely full of kids for Leeds. There's nothing on the bench other than kids. But the 11's not that bad. And for Arsenal, it is Martinelli rather than Smith Rowe, which is why I wasn't overly keen on anybody buying those players. Because of that, I think it was going to be a close call, and I think it will be going forward. Emil Smith Rowe is not going to stay as a substitute for long. The difference of Arsenal's bench and Leeds is very obvious. Ellie Simmons Lacazette is not on the bench, but good try. Healy's Vids, no Smith Rowe apparently. John Lord at AFC unchanged. Lee Ben, Englishman living in Thailand here. Love your streams, James. Thank you very much, Lee. Stay safe out there, mate. Shoria says got Watkins and Smith Rowe and 2 free transfers. Rebecca Porter, Vast Tech, amazing. KP 338, Arsenal unchanged. Relic returns, hit should be -2 only. Effective, yes. Rowan Balani, someone said lack of bench. Is that false? Yes, he's in the team. Listen, people are obviously going to be on the wind up, aren't they? There's only one game to wind people up over. Enver Chelik says Parker or Chisora. Probably Chisora, actually. Not that I'm a boxing expert in any way. Shakalaka, no snow at Ellen Road. This doesn't particularly surprise me. Badman says, who scored a hat-trick against Southampton that helped Tottenham to their 4th successive victory? On this day? What year, mate? Give us a year. Tottenham hat-trick against Southampton. I mean, it could be the 1920s, mate, and you'll have me thinking about it and I'm in an R in for the next 10 minutes. Tottenham hat-trick against Southampton. Obviously, it was a Harry Kane one, but that was Boxing Day. Got it. Jermaine Defoe against Southampton, 5-1 win, 04-05 season. Check it out. Tell me if I'm wrong, bad man. Freddie Canute was unplayable that day, even though Defoe scored a hat-trick. Unplayable. Sensational, Freddie Canute. Chris Jagger saying a Wobie about lazy. Yeah, I can agree with that. Timon Corporal, where's the dickhead saying Lacka benched? It's not in this stream, mate. This is the problem, right? People see rumours on Twitter and want to be the hero and post it in the chat. If you don't trust your sources, don't put it in the chat. It just scares people. Azuri says no Lorente or Firpo for Leeds, bare bones defence. There was a rumour about Lorente that went round earlier today. Wasn't worth worrying about, really, was it? Shakalaka, no Smith Rowe in the starting. Daniel, no Smith Rowe. I'm down to 9 players then. You have to laugh. He'll come off the bench, mate. And he's 1 point. He's going to be better than none. I don't know why people get the knickers in a twist. I believe Emil Smith Rowe was the substitute in midweek and scored against West Ham. Muhammad Ali, James, how do you feel about bringing up kids in North London, your ends? I grew up in London, but don't think it's best from my kids. Well, I'm right on the outskirts. If you walk down the end of my road, and don't get me wrong, it would be about an hour and a half walk, but basically half a mile from me is hospital, and then after that it's just fields, and then at the end is the M25. So I'm pretty as far out as I can be. But yeah, I'm not going to big London up to be the best city in the world. Personal opinion, I still think it is because it's home, right? But yeah, there's a lot of... It's like anywhere, right? There's a lot of shit and there's a lot of good. Like anywhere. I feel where we are is fine. If you're wondering, I'm in Enfield. The nice side. That's what my wife would say. Ricardo... not the Edmonton side. Ricardo Raposo says, you guys actually spent your entire Saturday waiting for team news. No wonder I struggled to get top 10k. Bunch of non-lifers. Thanks, Ricardo. I hope you come again, mate. Who's the non-lifer? Is it us or is it you having to put that in the chat? What are you doing with your life to be here putting that in the chat? I don't get some people. Yeah, Joe saying that Leeds bench. Cheats Plus for 4 games in a row, no Smith Rowe. Joe Finney back. Harry Kane back-to-back hat-trick, surely. No. Bad man saying, yeah, boy, it's Jermaine Defoe. Chris Jargo, do you get double time or time and a half on weekends, James? Well done, mate. No, I do the schedule, mate. Chris, I do like fucking 18 hours every day, mate. And I take a break to spend 2 hours with my kid, 6 to 8 every day, basically, when he gets back from nursery. Longer at the weekends. And obviously, I go and watch Tottenham and watch a lot of football. That's it. I don't stop, mate. Enver Celik, win the Europa Conference League or finish 5th in the league? I'll win the Conference League, mate. Yeah, definitely. Give me the trophy. Birth Media says, who is the next player to get... We won't be in it, though. We'll get thrown out. I'm surprised you haven't made a decision on that yet. Birth Media, who is the next player to get 100 Premier League goals that has debuted in the last 3 years? Oh, I'd need a fucking list in front of me, mate. What about Heung-min Son as a shout? I don't know what he's on. Dylan Ferner Rose, raise your kids in London. Diversity is the spice of life. Exactly that. Yeah, it's very true, Dylan. Daniel says, thanks for doing this, James. You go above and beyond for us. Like and sub, guys. Help a guy out. Oh, and the Patreon is awesome. Nice cue for me to finish the stream. If you'd like to support our content, you can support us www.patreon.com/planetfpl. We do not promise to make you better at FPL or anything like that, but you probably will get some inside team news. The patrons are incredible for digging out the information for each other on our Slack channel. And you can join our Slack channel from £3 a month. It's basically, what is it, a fucking expensive coffee these days. If you want to buy me and Suja half a coffee each a month, join on our Patreon, www.patreon.com/planetfpl. From the basic tier, access to our Slack channels, which also for all of December gives you access to all of the podcasts, 22 podcasts in total, access to basic tier this month. Normally that's from intermediate tier. Intermediate tiers this month are getting access to all the advanced tier content that I do each week, which includes my Talking Tactics videos on a Thursday. Just had a look at Ralph Rangnick's Manchester United, and next week I do intend, game on or off tomorrow, to have a closer look at what Antonio Conte is trying to do with Tottenham. And for the advanced tiers this month, they're getting written content as well. If you want to join Patreon, do it because you want to support our quest for content and feed my child, because this is my job. But do it, yeah. www.patreon.com/planetfpl. To be honest, the patrons sell it better than I do. Enver Celic, best Spurs manager ever. Bill Nicholson, mate. But in my time, it's Pochettino. We'll leave it there, guys. Thanks very much. Hollistan was saying fun day streams, and I have Talking Tactics United video yet to watch. Get it in you, mate. It's only 15 minutes. You can get that in you before the kickoff for sure. Enjoy your weekend. Stay calm, everyone. Remember, the majority of people are in a shit situation this week. So smash a like and a subscribe on your way out. Other than that, me and Suj will be back on Monday to review whatever games do happen this weekend and what we're going to do next. Tuesday will be a People's Poll podcast. We'll put the vote out on Monday. Wednesday will be Sky Fantasy Football. Thursday's Clash to Correspondence is scheduled to be Southampton versus West Ham with Matt Samuel and Chris Stone. Friday I'll be bringing back my Ask James stream. Time to be confirmed, but we'll put the full schedule out on Sunday. Our Patreon pods this week will be Q&A Monday, Tuesday to be confirmed, Wednesday to be confirmed, Thursday Tottenham, the day after Tottenham play West Ham on Wednesday night, if the game takes place, the Planet FPL Derby, and Friday will be our Game Week 19 differential show preview. But we'll put the full schedule out on Twitter on Sunday evening. Enjoy, everyone. Have a great weekend. Ciao for now.